Hi guys. All right. This video will probably come out in the evening, but I hope you guys have been having a really nice Valentine's Day. This is an urgent message. And I feel like it's an urgent message from the universe. What I had in my mind was like some kind of like a bright flash or something. I don't know if it was a flashing light bulb, a flashing flashlight, but it felt like there's like this sudden epiphany or something that the universe is trying to send in. We have an Ace of Wands. There is this sudden realization of what somebody desires. Now, this can be a very phallic symbol. So this could be particularly a divine masculine, possibly a fire sign. We have the moon coming in, which is very feminine energy. And this is the energy of like, I'm drawing something toward me. So we may have this sudden message coming in from the universe, but it may be directed more at the feminine because obviously a major arcana card is going to carry more power than even an ace. I feel like a feminine does not know this, and I feel like the message is coming in from the universe to say, feminine, you may be going to sleep tonight thinking it's just little old you. You don't know. We have a King of Swords that has had some massive epiphany about you. Okay, hang on. What is this about? What's our King of Swords? Ooh, we have the Devil in the reverse. They suddenly got beyond fear and replaced it with absolute like clarity. We have the Page of Pentacles sideways. They don't know exactly what to say or how to say it, but their fear has just dissolved like a puff of smoke. We have Lovers in the reverse. We also have the Knight of Pentacles over here, sideways. You know what? I'm thinking that what we have is by nightfall, possibly a feminine is quite convinced, if we look closely at that moon, quite convinced that it's just her going off into dreamland. And there is this sense of distance. Sometimes the moon can carry a bit of like forlorn energy, the energy of sometimes in certain decks, especially in Lenormand decks, which I'm actually going to gravitate toward one right now. The moon represents like a Marilyn Monroe character, very attractive, very alluring, but somewhat aloof, tragic character. There's an energy of somebody is so sought after, yet also, Marilyn was known by everyone, right? The whole world loved her, but in truth, there was still like a great kind of like melancholy, lonely quality to her, right? And I'm picturing, because they usually talk about the moon as like this, kind of vixen from the silver screen, but also a bit of a lonely character. And even if we talk about like, oh, the man on the moon, there's always like a loneliness associated. Her luck is about to change and she doesn't know it. By nightfall tonight, she is going to sleep completely oblivious and in fact, completely certain that her life's direction is one of like a solo sojourner. She has no idea that there has been some massive epiphany on behalf of, in this case, it's a King of Swords, so possibly Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But he has reached a point of clarity that not only does he have this profound desire for her, and there's so much clarity here, but it's also at a moment where it's like he is feeling, I don't know if he expected to hear from her, on Valentine's Day, and when he didn't, it finally clicked for him. What the hell was I doing waiting for her? She clearly has zero interest in reaching out to me. And I know that now. But he somehow has like a sense of clarity. Now she has this turn of fortune. Can we see more about him? Because I'm not sure other than his epiphany that she doesn't want me, he wants to suddenly send flowers with a message. He wants to send her flowers, but isn't this late? This is like at the end of the night, the end of the day of a like a Valentine's Day. I mean, this feels like a Valentine's Day gift, right? And with the birds here, this, we have the nest, we have the home, we have this, returning, coming back kind of energy. Let me ask this, because it feels like he's saying, all of a sudden I have all this clarity that she doesn't want me, but I want her, is what it seems like. But let me just ask, what were you expecting out of the day? The devil, they still sat and kind of hid. What remember, the devil has turned upside down by the end of the day, but like throughout all day, they sat in the devil's energy. King of Pentacles, Three of Swords. They sat there either hiding from her and the fact that they'd hurt her. I don't know if they picked somebody else, if they've been giving to somebody else, if they maybe always had been giving to somebody else, but we're trying to keep it a secret. We're also trying to keep a secret, like, so that they could almost have deniability, even though they know darn well that they put Three Swords in her heart, but still trying to avoid acknowledging that. Okay, then hang on. Your epiphany moment with the Ace of Wands, is it just that you hear nothing from your moon, your divine feminine, who you always kept in the dark about the fact that you were not a trustworthy character, is what it comes across as, and you've wanted to deny it while still like spy on her, but hide. I feel like you hid this moon person from whomever you give to, and you may be in a long-term stable connection as that King of Pentacles with a second person here hidden in the shadows, but you're wearing a mask, she's wearing a mask, and then the moon is something else hidden. So we have 3 layers of hiding here. So it's like he hid the moon person from whomever this is, then he hid, this person from his moon. He's also hidden from the toxicity. Even here, he's hiding half here. I almost feel like his eyes are red from like kind of being upset or crying, but at the same time, he's the one who did all this. So very strange, breakthrough moments that all this time I've been spending my whole day either hiding from or lying to myself about all of this, hiding from and lying to myself about this moon person who I'm realizing is single and free as a bird and sweet as a kitten and just an amazing person who is done with him. And I think it settles in. What were you waiting for all day as you hid? Page of Swords. You were either half waiting for her to either reach out to you and say, what is your situation? I've been trying to figure this out. Are you with another person? Maybe he thought he was going to get some kind of either accusatory or like, she's going to try to figure out something about me. And then let me ask, did you hear anything at all from your moon person? The Chariot, no. Pure silence. The Chariot is, I realized she left. She exited stage left. And in recognizing that, is that why you have this epiphany moment, this, yeah, 10 of Wands, she was done with my bullshit. The moon is done with my bullshit. I can keep my secrets and my games. She's not going to write to me or ask me what's actually going on or try to still keep, figuring out anything. She laid me down. She let me go. And as I realized that I'm no longer her concern. Hang on. Were you afraid that you would hear from her today? Is that what it was? Queen of Pentacles. No, you wanted to hear from her. You wanted her to pursue you somehow while still, and what were you thinking you were going to do? Had you heard from your moon person, who now we can call the Queen of Pentacles, what would you have done? Queen of Swords. Strength card sideways. They had something all prepared. They had something prepared that they were going to say to her and either give a pretense of like communicating honestly with her, which they had already pre-thought up responses to keep stuff hidden. They thought they would hear from her today and that she would be trying to figure something out, asking them questions, and they had already come up with an explanation that would sound like reasonable and truthful, but like maybe they put a lot of time into like creating a loophole or something with the strength card sideways. They were both scared to hear from her, but wanting to hear from her. And King of Swords upright. They had, I mean, this person went to some elaborate lengths in their mind of how will I handle this when I talk to her. God, this person's so unlikable. They seem to be somebody that is so, this is a very weak position because they've spent all their time and all their energy in that toxic idea of like, how will I manipulate a situation? How will I say things that seem like I'm being honest, but not really be honest? I mean, unless I'm reading this wrong and what they were going to say is I'm going to have to come clean and I'm going to have to tell her the truth is there is another person. The truth is I am in a long-term connection. Hang on. Were you building up the courage to be honest with her? Ace of Swords. Okay, maybe I got that wrong. Maybe they were building up the courage to say, I know she's going to say something to me today, and it's time that I just go ahead and say it, and I'm like scared of it, but I'm going to have to finally say the truth. I don't know, though, because there's all this hidden energy here. But we got the Ace of Swords. So it says you were going to tell her a truth. Temperance. You were going to tell her a version of a truth. I don't know if it was going to be the truth. Something that would have maybe made everything peaceful. I just feel like with that toxicity that we saw there and all the hiding and all of that and all this energy that they put into like, oh my God, today's the day. We're going to talk. She's going to say something to me. Nothing here seems like a king to me. A king would honorably and honestly step forward and send a message and, be there on a, Valentine's Day. If they're pursuing somebody, a King of Swords in particular would be pursuing. There would be no game playing. So this whole situation reeks of, like, I would argue, I'm the devil. Okay, we'll just say it that way. But this message says, again, there's been this moment of clarity, but it's on his side. Whereas she, the moon, is actually still totally oblivious that her life is about to change for the better. Now, I don't know that I would say anything better would be in the event that now the King of Swords goes, wait, I really do want her. She's not going to reach out to me. Oh my God, I'm never going to have this conversation with her. She's done with me. Now I want to go, offer her something of my own accord. I don't see how that would be her big turn of good fortune, because I don't really see what this King of Swords has to offer if they spent most of their time in fearful, strategizing of how I was going to handle things. But maybe I've read this a little bit wrong. This has seemed very unfavorable because of the devil, but maybe I have gone awry. So let me just ask one more time. Universe, can you simplify it? What was their energy flow toward her? Magician sideways, which is half trickster, half manifesting energy. Okay, so I don't feel like the King of Swords had an intention of being on the up and up, which is what I've been struggling with. I think they were going to tell her a version of a truth. But God, they wanted so much. She makes them really happy. They really wanted to be with her. Why have they been waiting to hear from her? Action of Swords sideways to kind of decide when she reaches out to me, which I'm so sure she will, then I'll figure out which version of a truth I have to say. Okay, so again, these sideways, like I'm not going to put in energy until I see which way the wind is going to blow. but then you don't hear from her at all, is what it said. Is that correct? Yeah, Three of Cups in the reverse. And then what is the breakthrough moment? You realize I didn't hear from her. I'm not going to hear from her. Now it's that, hang on, I want to turn around and chase her. Hang on, I want to go ahead and say something to her. Hang on. Now wait a second. I was so sure I'd hear from her. Now I need to say something instead. And universe, can we see what is the positive breakthrough coming that she does not know about with the dice and her as the moon? Six of Wands, something totally different is going to be blossoming in her life. What is it that's going to be blossoming in her life? Messenger of Cups. I kind of think that there's somebody else coming in, but let me double check. Let me change decks one more time and just say, universe, can you help me understand? I mean, yes, there's an apology or there's a new love offer coming in. Something that's going to make her feel amazing. Eight of Pentacles. It could be something she's been putting her effort into. No, it's them, this King of Swords reaching out to her now, because now they're wanting to pursue her now that they're realizing at the end of this Valentine's Day when they never heard from her, even though they were ready to figure out some version of a truth they'd tell her, but depending on whatever she said, that person seems so manipulative. But the turn of good fortune in her life actually comes because she didn't pursue them. She didn't reach out to them. Instead, other things in her life that she has been investing in, which are her own endeavors, she's going to get some really good news about something. I don't know. She could have like an offer. Somebody could reach out to her because of, like, let's say she does something, a hobby, a career path, something she's been working on that is her very own thing is getting recognized. She could suddenly have like an offer that comes in. Maybe her business starts to flourish. Maybe she is invited to something. Five of Pentacles. It's going to replace this missing, gaping hole from what this King of Swords cheated her out of, which was maybe even like them treating her with the dignity that she deserved. Yeah, it's going to be a direct replacement of because I do think she had a betrayal. I do think she experienced a heartbreak. I do think that the thing that's going to be coming in for her is going to be a direct, like, I'm picturing somebody filling up potholes right now, replacing all the things that she got cheated out of. That's what's coming in for her next. Nine of Wands, it's going to heal something in her soul. Can I just see what it is? Is it a person? Is it a career? It's all of the above. Her life is about to change. What happens with that King of Swords? Because we can see he's suddenly like, I'm going to reach out to her. Oh my God, I really do want her. I was so prepared to play these games with her, give her minimal amount still, figure out what version of a truth I'd tell her, figure out how to string her along, breadcrumb her, get her back into my life while still keeping most secrets, but telling her some truths. But now I'm realizing she didn't reach out to me because she doesn't want me. And now I know I really want her. I want to go after her. What happens with him? He may keep trying to get her back. He's lost her to this other path. Maybe if he had been honest with her like today, instead of waiting for her and manipulating and strategizing, maybe it could have been him. Because I'm hearing that song, could have been me standing there with you. It could have been me and my dreams coming true, but those dreams move on when you wait too long. It took me till now to see that it could have been me. I think it's Billy Ray Cyrus. It's an older country song. She's ending up in the arms of somebody else in a lifestyle that's going to make her happier. There could be a Gemini on the horizon for her, somebody that is going to replenish and replace everything that broke her heart. This is always my Julian Casablancas card. I always think of, like, I don't know, Void's music, Strokes music. There's so much great music that comes from both of those bands that he fronts. But I just feel like there's music coming up in her life, maybe a trip to Paris. Maybe she's going to fall madly in love with somebody who's French. She's meeting somebody new, and it isn't the King of Swords. This is the moment where, yes, the roll of the dice changes. That King of Swords loses her to somebody new and to a much better, happier path. He will always still maybe try to get her back, but I don't see it happening. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for giving